Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer, and welcome back to Pro Cycling Manager 2020. This is Career Mode. It's episode 84. Quick programming note, if you haven't seen it, on my Pro Cyclist series, which is 3 days a week, opposite the 4 days a week that this series takes place, I'm changing that schedule up a little bit. Career Mode completely unaffected by that. We are still coming at you with 4 days a week of the Career Mode episodes, and at the same days. However, the Pro Cyclist mode is going from 3 days down to 2. That one day, Thursday, being freed up for a new series. Still Pro Cycling Manager. A second career mode and a third series overall for Pro Cycling Manager is coming. It's in the works. And that is going to be Pro Cycling Manager 2020 with the Women's Tour. So I had a brief PCM20 just before the end of the season for that one. Look at that mod. And this mod has been developed by the mod makers specifically for this series. They have made some changes to that from the PCM20 till now to feature a few more American races, which is awesome. Really appreciate the work that they have put in. Pes Optimist, love it. We're going to get started on that, and it's going to come 2 days a week, meaning we're actually going to get an additional PCM video weekly. So now from 7 up to 8 Thursdays and Sundays for that series. So look for that to start up here in the very near future. Before we get into our final race of the season, which is Lombardia, quick updates. First off, in the planner for Mark, a 77. Was that where he was? I think it was. I think he leveled up there 2 months ago, right? But everybody else, no change at this point. No change up and down the roster, though there might be one more 72 than there was before. It's now into October, so it's been well over a month. But here is the updates on the news. In the individual time trial, Remco Evenepoel is your world champion ahead of Chad Haga and Sergienko. Noah Granigan moving on to Rally UHC. So everybody on the current roster who is going to be without a contract from us for next season, they've all found new homes. Another injury, Zachary Johnson out with patellar tendon tear. And the National Road Championship, Umberto Zeta. Zeta has won the World Championships. That's our man. We developed him. He is making more money with Sunweb this year than our entire roster combined, and by some margin. As in, he's making 1.5 times our salary combined. So there was no possible way to keep him. But good for him. Good for him. Umberto Zeta, world champion, just 1 year after leaving our team. And he got his start with us. All right, so here we go. It is Lombardia, our final World Tour race of the season. We do have a nasty virus going through the squad. Rainsford, actually, who is sick right now, he's been sick 3 times back to back. It's gone away, and a few days later, he's caught the cold again. And then it goes away, and a few days later, he's caught the cold again. It's been a bad stretch for him. Just in case, I want to get somebody into the break, so let's get Lopez out there, just in case the break has a chance today. So Lopez, final ride for the team. For Mark, so unlucky. He's on a -3 today. That's going to hurt because he's obviously the guy we'd like to see with a chance. So maybe today is Eric Butt's day, a.k.a. Boot. But
the pack is increasing its work rate. Some teams can't be happy with the breakaway.
I can't pronounce it any other way than Butt. Sorry. If you got a chuckle, let it out. All right. Again, also with that same virus that Rainsford has. Last guy to get up into position here. So that's not helping us much today. I mean, there's a good bit of climbing to do, and then it kind of comes right down to the end. So Lopez, how we looking? He's in the group. A little off pace on what's necessary. We have 7 chasing one more behind us, trying to get away, and you can see a handful of others trying to join the foray. It's minute 20 to the front rider, 30 seconds behind them, so a minute ahead of the Peloton is Lopez's group. Let's get these guys set so we can focus on Lopez for a little bit. So we're looking for some punchy guys. Rainsford, decent climber, but with his -2 today, stamina resistance really not looking good. Moreno could be one of our top guys. I think, but is absolutely going to be the #1 today. Carlos de Mello, last minute call up because of another sick rider who their fitness was atrocious. So Carlos de Mello getting a chance. He comes in with a +1. Good fitness, much better than some of the others. As the season's winding down, I used the AI management of the calendar, and some of the riders just really falling off for the end of the season.
The pack's deficit is being cut back. A couple of teams have set themselves
There's really only a couple guys to go for here, isn't there? For Mark, is Moreno going to be our other guy? I think it is, because Gin's not looking so good today. So there you go. All right, so Lopez. It's now a 10-man break, but again, it's less than a minute to the front. So let's give this a little time, speed it up. They're quite a few kilometers. This is far away from kilometer 0. Lopez certainly isn't a threat, so they don't care about him, but somebody's got to be in this group. Lagac, Chavez, Power, Crass, Rusin, there's definitely Brambilla. There are a few quality riders here. And we've already got a few guys not working. I mean, come on, Chavez. They're probably not working because of you. Or they're probably chasing because of you, that is. Still only 48 seconds. So the gap not growing, not shrinking. Okay, out to a minute 34. Could it be? And there it is, 2 minutes. 2 minutes. We've done it. We've done it. They've done it. You know, I wouldn't mind if this was pulled back, because Lopez clearly has no chance compared to the other guys here. 3:14. Packs that up. I love the leaves on the edge of the road. Lopez finally sits up. Let somebody else have at it. It's a long one today. Lombardia, 186 kilometers still to go. Pace is picked back up a little bit. Lopez about to crest the, well, basically the second biggest climb of the day. He's in cruise mode, in recovery, and let's get Rainsford. Rainsford's going to be the weak link with his -2. Lopez actually looking a little better now, looking like one of the guys who could actually contribute at the end. Normally he's first domestique, but with his +2, and I think he about leveled up. He's looking a little better overall. Gap holding at 3 minutes. Really don't want him to contribute much. He's there if they survive. At least we get a top 10. I'd rather have him back in the group. Gaps come down by half a minute, and there's still 140k to go, so not sure why the Peloton is pulling this one back so early, but they never seem to be a big fan of the makeup of this group. Second climb. for a second. Let's drop back here. This is one thing I forgot to do. We want to conserve energy, yes, but we don't want anybody suddenly falling out the back of the Peloton. 165 in the Peloton, 175 in the race. We crest the second climb of the day. Grab some water. And this is also a good time for Rainsford. 120k to go. Go ahead and fetch water a second time. We'll need to do so around the 60k mark. That's going to be a lot harder. Figure that's somewhere around here where we'll hit that 60k mark. Lopez, okay, pace is really picked up here in the group. Gap at 224. We're pushing this tempo. This breakaway is going to be down to 2 or 3 riders. Probably right about here. .214. Gap is coming down. That also means, yeah, there it is. We're going to start to see some suffering in the Peloton as well, not just in the break. Gap at 2 minutes. Third climb. This one's not so bad, but at this pace, it's doing some damage. Is it just me, or are we starting to attack each other?
And some riders are exploiting this opportunity to attack.
Okay, we got a bunch of guys not contributing. Let's go ahead and grab some water and not contribute as well. Is this a good time to get water? Let's get water real quick here while we have a chance. I don't know if we'll get another chance later.
There we go. That's 2/3 of the race behind us.
I tell things really disintegrate and we're kind of on our own. That'll help cover us for an extra 20-30k, and then when we can, like maybe right over the top here,
Somebody's taking a tumble
grab
in the main
water
bunch.
one final time. Better to have it now and not go wanting later. Rainsford. Okay, and recovery. People have sat up quite a bit. Gap's down to 1:12. Rainsford coming back to the front. And this pace could pick up once again, so let's counter that. We'll go to an 80. Should be enough to hold our position a little better, and you're seeing a little acceleration
The breakaway
here.
is not to everybody's liking. The
All right,
Peloton
here we
has
go.
significantly increased its speed.
This is the hardest part of the day if the pace is up. Otherwise, those final 2 climbs are what decides this thing. We've already lost 1 rider and instantly pulled back by the Peloton. And, wow, look how much these guys are struggling. 82. I mean, that's already the middle. There's only 138, and there's a handful of riders out. We are going to take it easy and observe both groups. There's the back for Mark, losing a little ground. For Mark, not climbing terribly well.
This climb is feared
He's
by
gonna
many
have to
riders.
pick up
the
the
percentages
pace.
are very high.
Rainsford.
The breakaway is not to everybody's liking. The Peloton has significantly increased
Marino's
its
also
speed.
going backwards, so everybody trying to counter them all. And Lopez has slipped to the back of the group here. Actually, the group has split. He's going to end up back in the Peloton. There he is. Getting swept up. He'll be fine. He'll recover. What we got to make sure is these guys not getting dropped, and Moreno looks like he's about to. Moreno, go forward. You're the strongest climber. Oh, no, he's not. He's a 71. Cresting the first climb.
It's survival of the fittest.
Now the
and
big key
evolution doesn't
is
seem
not
to favor those
officially
in the
being
rear.
dropped,
There's
which
a growing
they
list of
just
riders
did.
left behind.
Alright. Rehash our strategy. We got to make up some ground. Not right this second, but we do need to make up some ground. Now, Lopez is still at the front of the group, right? For Mark. Holy cow, that is a huge gap right there. Okay, for Mark, hopefully can recover. I'm not going to send Lopez back to pick him up. I was thinking about doing it, but there's a massive gap between them. Now, Gin's at the front and pretty tired. Moreno's right in line behind him. Rainsford's doing okay. I want Rainsford to follow Gin. And then Moreno. And then Gin. While we're on the flat, go ahead and chase this thing down a bit. 99. Alright, and now on to Rainsford. Does not need to go 99, but does need to start bringing it forward. Alright, Gin is done. He did his work. He reconnected us. Carlos de Mello actually took that free ride as well. Set them both to auto. Here's Rainsford. There is Vermark. As soon as we kind of start scooting in front of Vermark, we will put him in line. Rainsford resting that. Out of energy. But we've got a descent. So I'm going to have him push on this descent. Again, we're split off. The split's right in front of us. Okay, for Mark, get in line. Alright, 34 chasing 56. Lopez, the only one left in the front group, which does not do me a whole lot of good. Moreno, your turn, buddy. Okay, Rainsford, your day is done. We still have 3 big climbs to go. Now, we cannot attack too hard here. This is a big climb. 4.6k, 800 meters, 7.3%. So we've got to go easy and just work our way forward. And I'll kind of mostly ride with Vermark here so we can see both in front and behind. Moreno gel kicking in, that's good. There is Lopez, but Lopez is just hanging on himself at the front. Moreno's made some progress. This is not going as well as I hoped. The pace has been really bad. Usually it doesn't pick up until the last 2 climbs. Not the case at all today. And we're not going to have anybody left. Moreno? No, we're losing ground. And these guys we're done. I'm going to have nobody left. No one. Lopez still in front of us.
Uh-oh, the pack is quick in the pace.
Okay, for Mark, moving back forward a little bit. Back into a good position. Lopez, you protect. Steepest section. That was the 4K. Now we've got 1.9K. 13.8%. Holy cow. And Vermark is done. And just standing still. Did you see that? He just stopped. He just stopped on the road. Auto. Last man standing. Take position here. Follow Dunbar. And somehow Vermark, who was standing still, can do something. That was so weird that he literally just came to a standstill. And then the moment we changed the assignment, he was going faster than before. I mean, here we are with Carthy and Dunbar, Landa, Polank. I mean, wild Poles. It's quite the group. This thing's glitching a little bit. Looks like it. 23 ahead of us. It's going to be hard. Yates.
A small group of riders are trying to get clear of the bunch. The riders are going through a very tough portion.
A long ways back for Mark already. 10%. Eric Butt only climb. He's only a 65, but he's a 70 today. Really showing. I mean, he's got the hills, he's got the punchiness, but he's just not getting there. Okay, he is all alone. all alone in a time of need. Because he's racing and pacing and hugging the turns. Let me know in the comments below if you recognize those lyrics. They are not mine. Alright, well, he is in recovery, which is nice, but he is very, very well behind the action ahead. He's with Adam Yates, Mikel Landa, Miguel Angel Lopez, Eric Dunbar, Wout Poels, Hugh Carthy, Sepp Kuss, Chris Hamilton, and then Gilkinson. I mean, what a group to be in. And we are nowhere near the front of this race. This is a group of climbers right here. Strong group of climbers. We are punchier than they are, but we're not a climber. So we are so lucky just to be in this group. And yet we are massively behind the front of this race. I mean, we've got to be 40th at best right now. Maybe 35th at best. And those 2 climbs to come.
Watch out, the team leader is falling behind.
We've recovered so well over this stretch. In fact, we just hit 100%, which is awesome. And we're going to have to try something over these next 2 climbs to move forward. But I'm with the best climbers. Maybe I should wait for the last climb to do it. Let's see what happens over this climb. And just hang on. 5K. 8%. Here we go. This is a hard climb, so this is not a time to attack these guys. This is a time to survive and hang on. See, I forgot the water part. I want to wait until we hit the top here. Okay, we just linked up with some other riders ahead of us.
Kilometers remaining.
Scoot forward because some of these guys are starting to go backwards.
There's now just 10 kilometers left.
14K to go. Trying to get the water. Okay, got it. It's helping with the recovery a little bit. Heading into the final climb. And it sounds like there's already the attacks going for the finish. Okay, here we go. Gel up, 8K to go. Riding away from these guys. 7.6, going too strong here. Split that group off. That's 18 riders I just left behind. We're not going to have any red bar left. It's about yellow bar to the top. Will we have enough yellow bar to get to the top? 15 seconds ahead of those guys. Some of them are coming back at me. 6K to go to the finish. About to crest. Back in contact with some of them. That's Martinez and Conrad ahead of us. Okay, we've actually split them back off. Alaphilippe has taken the win. Schachmann second. Gaudu third. Yermakov, Pogačar, Guerrero, Rubio, Vlasov. It's your top 8. Already 10 riders. Trying to recover a little bit on this descent. This would be really good for Pro Cyclist mode to gain something here. Back into the group. 10 riders now. So from 19 down to 10 at 400 meters. Ouch. I just got beat by all 10 of them. But that was only for 20th anyway. I thought we had a little further to go before the finish. I misread the last K. Thought it was about 1.5, 2K. I was trying to save up for that sprint, and then all of a sudden we came around the corner and there was the finish line. Vermaat crossed 40th, but it was only 29th. But again, it was difference between 20th and 29th was all. It was not going to be a good finish either way. Pace today, outside of Alaphilippe, those are pure climbers at the front. All of them. And, looking up and down the list of riders here. Mark Hershey. Who else is a punchy climber? Venipol, maybe, arguably. Not many punchers left. So, for Mark, negative race day condition, not surprised he struggled. But, no reputation yet. Not surprised he struggled. I didn't bring our top couple climbers because usually, even though, yes, there are very hard climbs, this comes down to the punchers. It did not today. It really did not, other than Alaphilippe. Most of the punchers were left behind. And remember, the group we were in, which we ended up leaving half of those guys behind. The group we were in were some of the best climbers in the world. The year was spread out all over the place, so here is some highlights for the end of the season. Geraint Thomas, winner of the Tour de France ahead of Dumoulin and Bernal. The Giro went to Sivakov ahead of Roglic and Simon Yates. La Vuelta went to Carapaz ahead of Yermakov and again Bernal, so 2 podiums for Bernal this season. Some of the major races, Yates wins the Santos Tour Down Under, nice home win there. Paris-Nice to Pogacar, Tirreno Adriatico to Bernal, Volta Catalunya to Bernal, Itzulia Basque Country to Uman, Tour de Romandie to Roglic, Criterium de Dauphiné to Carapaz, Pogacar to Tour de Suisse, Lopez wins Polonia, and Big Big Tour for Mark Hershey. UAE to Gegenhardt, Guangxi to Tollett, Milano San Remo to Tish Benoot ahead of Kevin Vermark and Ben Moreno. Rande van Vlaanderen to Mats Pedersen. Van Barle wins Paris-Roubaix. Liège-Bastogne-Liège to Pogacar. So big season for him. And Il Lombardia, the only win for Alaphilippe in any majors this season. For start of the year, top 10 nominees, Umberto Zeta gets my first vote as the world champion. And just as a little bias, I think out of everyone, I saw Roglic up there a lot. Sivakov winning one of the Grand Tours, but not being seen. Otherwise, Carapaz, we saw his name up there a bit. Bernal with 2 podiums, but no wins in any of the Grand Tours. Alaphilippe only won 1 race of anything in a major, so I would not vote for Alaphilippe this year. Sivakov was second last year ahead of Theo Daly, who was the world champion, but not seen really. Otherwise, Yermakov was definitely up there. Thomas only seen as the winner of the Tour de France, but nowhere else. It's really hard to pick a top 5 this season. It really is. Pogacar, I think, was probably the most prevalent name. Carapaz was definitely up there, and Bernal, but he didn't really win anything. He was just up there. Sivakov did, so I'll give him a nod. And then, I guess, Yermakov. Really hard to pick because no one was particularly dominant in any way, and the standings really convey this. For next season, let's look at the index real quick. Jumbo-Visma, the only 5-star team, 8 4.5-star teams, and then 4 stars wasn't even enough to get into the World Tour. That's what we're up against. 4 stars may not be enough to reach World Tour. The 19 current World Tour teams, though, are set to be the 19 World Tour teams for next season. No changes. So everybody who is current is back. Circus Wanty-Groupe Gobert came so close, and they ended up missing out. NTT Continental, very close, but they'll miss out. And we're going to be in for some big competition at that Continental Pro level. I only just made it to Continental Pro again. Yikes. Holy cow, I had no idea that it ended up this close. We've been 38th for a while. I didn't realize 38th was the last spot for Continental Pro. We almost got relegated. And look at NTT Pro Team. all the way down to Continental level. Archaea Samsic going to Continental. Direct Energy going for a second season at Continental. W52 as a Continental team. This is crazy. Right? Man, oh man. Things have really changed other than a few of the powerhouses remaining as powerhouses. Mamil is now a 4.5-star top World Tour team, not only making it, but staying and thriving. Yermakov, most points, but very, very close for the top 4. Geraint Thomas wins the Tour de France and really doesn't have that many points at World Tour level. For Mark was 25th, over 1,000 points. Denny Ginn, top 10 in the Continental as our top rider, but we were all over those rankings a while ago, and we've really kind of slipped down. Monotoglu, 23rd. Rainsford, 49th. Super Prestige. Pogačar, a winner here, but not with a clear majority. Yermakov, Bernal, Carapaz, all close, and then Alaphilippe, Thomas, Guerrero, Roglic, and we came in with Vermark in 42nd, Monotoglu 65th, and Ginn 74th. Team rankings. Ineos, they were the dominant force, even though they're nowhere near the top of the actual. But they're accumulating points. There's Mamil all the way up in 5th. NCA, 15th, not bad, considering we only had a few World Tour races. 5th in Continental, could have been better, should have been better, but at the same time, I quick simmed so many races, and it shows that we're just not that great on paper. We just managed to pull it off when we go out in person. Not always. We didn't get a whole lot of wins. NTT, though, look how dominant they were, and they're going to slip to Continental. Are they losing that many riders? Maybe. Cofidis, Alpecin Phoenix, and Droney all ahead of us. And in the Super Prestige, there it is, 16th place, 3,603 points. Not as good as last season for sure. We definitely had a drop-off. Really wasn't a bad year, though. I mean, we did exactly what we needed to do. We cruised through and somehow actually just survived. We've got 2 strong riders. We very much need that third one, though. And I do have high expectations, especially with those 2. Right? We add one more piece, and our index rises significantly. And we have 3.5 stars. 4 stars is World Tour level. So it is super tight. It is super compact. We add one more strong rider, and I think we're fighting for World Tour. Even though we're the last team in Continental Pro heading into next season, we're one piece away from being significantly higher. That is going to do it for this episode, though, and this season. Next time out, we will be at the beginning of January, setting ourselves up for another season, taking a good look at the team and seeing how they progress during the off season. Be sure to hit that like button, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one. Be safe out there, and bye for now.